wherever the road takes you, there's always a story to tell. Welcome to the Traveling Narrator, your perfect companion for the journey ahead. Sit back, drive safe, and let's dive in. Today's story is called The Lost Path, A Jungle's Secret. Daniel Carter had spent his entire life chasing myths. A seasoned archaeologist and historian, he had made a name for himself uncovering lost relics and piecing together forgotten civilizations. But nothing had ever consumed him like the mystery of Dr. Arthur Montgomery. Montgomery had vanished a decade ago while searching for the Lost Path, a hidden route deep in the Amazon jungle. His journal had been found months later, waterlogged and torn, washed up near the banks of the Rio Negro. Its pages were filled with frantic scribbles about an ancient civilization, a hidden gateway, and a warning, one that sent shivers down Daniel's spine every time he read it. The door is real, but it does not lead where you think. If you find it, turn back. Most dismissed Montgomery's journal as the ramblings of a man lost to fever or madness. But Daniel saw something others had missed. The consistency in the symbols. The patterns hidden in the text. Montgomery hadn't been hallucinating. He had found something. And Daniel was determined to finish what the lost explorer had started. The expedition had taken months to plan. With a small team of local guides and a skeptical journalist named Elena Ford documenting the journey, Daniel set out into the depths of the jungle. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and the constant hum of unseen creatures. Days passed as they hacked their way through the tangled undergrowth, following the map reconstructed from Montgomery's notes. The deeper they ventured, the more the jungle seemed to close in around them. Massive trees towered overhead, their thick branches intertwining like ancient sentinels guarding long buried secrets. The cries of distant animals echoed through the canopy, but sometimes, between the rustling leaves and snapping twigs, there were other sounds. Whispers carried by the wind, voices that didn't belong. Then, on the seventh day, the first sign appeared. A towering tree, its bark carved with a strange symbol. It matched the sketches in Montgomery's journal. They were close. That night, the jungle grew unnervingly silent. The usual chorus of insects and distant animal cries had vanished. A heavy unease settled over the camp, thick as the mist curling through the trees. Then the screams started. Daniel bolted upright in his tent. Outside, the camp was in chaos. One of the guides, Manuel, was missing. His belongings were untouched, but his footprints led away from the fire, straight into the darkness. No signs of a struggle, no warning, just gone. They searched for hours, calling his name, but deep down, Daniel already knew they wouldn't find him. By dawn, the remaining guides refused to go any further. They whispered of spirits, of curses, of something watching them from the trees. They packed their things and disappeared, leaving only Daniel and Elena to continue the search. The jungle grew denser, pressing in around them like a living thing. Vines hung like curtains, their shadows twisting in eerie shapes under the dappled sunlight. The air was thick, suffocating. Then Daniel saw it, partially hidden beneath vines and creeping moss. The archway. It was ancient, impossibly smooth stone, unlike anything found in the region. The symbols were sharper here, untouched by time. The same warning carved deep into the surface. Elena hesitated. Daniel, maybe we should... A gust of wind rushed through the arch, impossibly cold. The jungle behind them blurred for a moment, as if reality itself was shifting. Daniel's heart pounded. His entire life had led to this moment. Ignoring the screaming instincts in his mind, he stepped forward. The world went black. When Daniel opened his eyes, the jungle was gone. He stood in a vast cavern, its walls lined with strange, glowing glyphs pulsing softly, casting flickering shadows against the high ceilings. The air was thick with whispers, voices speaking in a language he didn't understand. Elena was nowhere to be seen. The ground trembled beneath his feet. He turned in slow circles, scanning the cavern. In the distance, something moved. Slowly, impossibly, shadows began peeling themselves from the walls, taking form. Their eyes glowed like embers in the dim light, their movements deliberate and otherworldly. A chilling realization struck Daniel. They had been waiting for him. His breathing quickened. There was no visible way back, only a tunnel that stretched into unknown darkness. He clenched his fists, forcing himself to focus. He had uncovered the lost path, but at what cost? The whispers grew louder, now almost deafening. The figures stepped closer. Then a sudden burst of golden light erupted from the symbols on the walls. The glyphs pulsed brighter, as if awakening from a centuries-old slumber. The shadows recoiled, hissing as they melted back into the stone. A warm hand grasped Daniel's wrist. Elena. Daniel, we have to go. Now! Without hesitation, they sprinted toward the tunnel. The walls trembled as if the cavern itself was collapsing. The air shimmered, and with one final leap, they crossed back through the archway. The jungle roared back to life around them. Birds cried out, the thick humidity clung to their skin, and the distant whispers vanished. They had made it. Daniel collapsed to his knees, gasping for air. Elena clutched his arm, both of them shaking but alive. "We need to leave," she breathed. "That place, it wasn't meant for us." Daniel nodded, staring back at the ancient archway. Whatever lay beyond, it had nearly claimed them. But they had survived. As they prepared to leave, Daniel noticed something in his hand, a small, luminous crystal pulsing with the same golden light they had seen in the cavern. It was warm to the touch, humming with an energy he couldn't describe. Elena gasped. "Daniel, this could change everything." He met her gaze, realization dawning. They had uncovered the lost path, and with it, something that could alter the course of human history forever. Hand in hand, they turned away from the lost path, stepping back into the light of the waking jungle, ready to tell the world their story, and to unlock the secrets of the artifact that could redefine mankind's understanding of the universe. As they made their way through the dense jungle, the artifact's glow pulsed stronger, illuminating their path. The air around them crackled with an energy neither had ever felt before, and for a moment, Daniel wondered if they were carrying something far beyond human understanding. Then, just as they neared the extraction site, the ground trembled beneath them. The jungle seemed to awaken, vines shifting, trees groaning. The artifact in Daniel's hand grew warm, then hot. "Elena, I think it's reacting to something." His voice was laced with both fear and awe. Suddenly, the artifact pulsed one final time, releasing a wave of golden light. The tremors ceased, the jungle grew still, and a strange, peaceful silence settled over them. Then before their eyes, something miraculous happened. The dead trees that had once lined the ravine sprouted fresh green leaves. Flowers bloomed in seconds. Even the air smelled fresher, as if nature itself had been revived. This thing," Elena whispered, staring at the artifact in disbelief. "It's not just an object. It's life itself." Daniel grinned, realization dawning on him. "Elena, this could change the world. Imagine what this could do. Deserts turned into forests, disease-ridden lands made whole again. This isn't just history. This is the future." With renewed determination, they stepped forward, no longer afraid of the jungle's mysteries. They weren't just leaving with a discovery. They were leaving with hope. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss an adventure. Until next time, keep your eyes on the road and your mind on the story.